Hi guys, it's Dana. Just wanted to make a quick announcement. The first 17 minutes of this episode are difficult to hear. It's been kind of a tough week. If you listen to the episode, you may get it. But someone whose name rhymes with Maina Mowell made a mistake and didn't plug the microphones into the computer. So at around 17 minutes, 20 minutes, everything evens out. It all gets better. So if you can hold on, great. If not, just skip forward a little bit. Thanks for your patience. All right, cool. Bye.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I'm Jessica Young.
Nope, I'm not going to do it. We are here to rant and rave. I can't help it.
You have to do it because somebody that I just saw this weekend told me that they love that.
Really?
Yes.
But I bet for every one person who does love it, there are 15 that are like, can you ladies just shut up and get on with it? You know what else I was thinking? Because I'm looking straight at you and I can hear us in the headphones. This is another NPR episode for you guys.
It is another late night recording
It's a late night recording session in the home of Dana Powell.
Trying to keep our voices down.
We're trying to keep our voices down. It is 11:20 at night. This is a very, very up-to-date episode. You all know we try to record ahead of time sometimes so we never miss an episode for you guys. Life has not made that possible lately.
Nope.
So we are recording at 11:20 on Sunday night. I will be up till 3 a.m. editing tomorrow night.
No.
But guess what, guys? I do it because I want to.
She needs big props for getting that edited.
You're so sweet. Don't
It's
act like
true.
you're not up till the same time as
No,
me
she
making
should.
show notes and
No.
everything else.
We've had a lot of balls come at us lately. I
We've
was
had-
literally thinking that today. I'm like, every kind of ball. Curve balls, hard balls, fast balls, just balls.
Balls out of nowhere.
I'm ready for a square.
I'm so ready. I'm tired of balls. Let's start trending a hashtag, no more balls.
Exactly. No more balls.
I want to say real quick, one of the reasons that I think, at least for me, I can't speak for you, that I don't mind staying up late and making this happen is because of some of the, like this week specifically,
Yes.
we've had a whole lot of people writing
Some
in
lovely
some
notes.
very lovely messages that I'm not joking. Those are the things that keep us doing
Mhm.
this. Because we always tease you guys and say, for all we know, unless you tell us, we're a couple of crazy ladies at 11:20 at night in my living room. But you guys, I love that one listener said, I've heard your call for validation
Yes.
and I'm here. Legit, that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not ashamed to admit it. And you guys have answered our call and it
Yes.
really makes a difference.
Yes.
I love it.
Again, even if you know that one person is really
Just
listening, paying attention, it's doing something good for that, made them laugh, whatever it is, then you know that.
It's worth it. It really
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
Listen, it's not free to make a podcast, but it's free to listen.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be that I get something from it too. And it's the
Absolutely.
people that we've met, the things that we've learned
Mm-hmm.
really do matter that much to me.
Yeah.
It's worth it to me.
Yes.
And I enjoy it and I love it. Whatever.
And having one-on-one dialogue with listeners.
Yes. People write to us all the time and we always respond.
Mhm.
If we can, if we see it.
Totally.
At least-
We owe you guys a few replies and a few videos, but
And they are
you'll be
coming.
getting them.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make sure that happens on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We're not joking when we'll get into it, guys. We're not joking. We've had some balls in our
Mhm.
face. But I'm so glad to see you.
I'm so glad to see you too.
And you guys, I know I say it all the time, but Jessica's the most lovely human being. She brought me presents
Stop it.
tonight.
Stop
She's
it.
been having as hard a time as I have, and she brought me presents, and I put on mascara for her.
Which you did not have to do. Trust me, I would have come here in my bloody pajamas and no makeup on happily if I could have. But I went to a play, so I tried to.
You look
be
beautiful. I told you that when you walked in.
That's maybe a strong word, but
You're a crazy person.
I love how I justified. I'm like, as long as I wear a nice blouse, this is
Your
a
blouse is-
matinee.
You look great.
But I
Your
went to
hair-
a matinee, so I'm like, I can just wear a nice blouse, and that's dressy enough, right?
It is. I told you looked beautiful.
Hmm.
And you always, it's not like you dress like you're homeless most of the time. You always look nice, but you look particularly lovely tonight.
That's very, very kind.
And your hair looked beautiful too. Did you diva curl it?
Yeah, thank you, Adam Welch. I've been like trying like all these different combos of it. I'm still kind of a ding dong with some of those products. Those amazing products that he sent me, but I've found one of them that really works best after the shampoo and conditioner, and then it makes my hair like Kenny G tight curly.
Yes.
And so at that point, when I feel like it's kind of dry and in that Kenny G state, I put my hands in it. I don't pull them out, but I kind of tousle it.
Tousle it, yes.
So it keeps the curls, but it pulls out those crazy ringlets.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have frizz. Adam has
Wonderful.
eliminated my hair halo.
Adam, whatever. He knows how much we love
I
him.
love him.
I also want to shout out another listener of ours who sent us a message this week that you were like, I'm going to forward this to Dana to make sure she sees it because I know in my brain she's going to love it.
Yeah, oh my God.
Which is it's the Real Sax Squatch,
Uh-huh.
which is a very talented saxophone player, for real. That's not a joke. Who dresses in a Sasquatch outfit, and I'm obsessed. I actually messaged from my personal account. I messaged that person and was like, I'm obsessed with this, right? I can't.
What I need to know is, I know that Sasquatch has been around since whenever the supposed first sighting was.
Right.
But why has it become a trend lately?
I think
it's the
because-
octopus and owl of 2020.
Oh my God, you're funny. Oh, you mean as in like on bags and stuff?
It's just everywhere. There's a beer that I happen to love. The brewery is
Sasquatch.
called Yeti, or the
Uh-huh.
beer is called Yeti, excuse me. There's a new anime or animated cartoon coming out called Yeti.
Uh-huh.
There's those freaking obscenely expensive things they sell at Whole Foods, like a hydro flask made
Well,
by
and our
Yeti.
friend, shout out to an amazing woman, Brandy Stillwell. She wrote the comic
Sasquatch
Detective, which is doing
Mhm.
very, very well. She's amazing, by the way.
Mhm.
We love her. And if you
Yes.
haven't checked out the comic, it's really fun.
It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's all just kind of like, you know how things sometimes get in the air and everybody's singing. So there's like a couple of years ago, there started being Sasquatch porn, or not porn.
Gross.
I'm sure there is. Excuse me, y'all. I don't watch Sasquatch porn. And this makes it even,
breathe.
I'm so uncomfortable.
You're uncomfortable.
I'm trying to laugh quiet and I'm just wheezing now. Okay. Well, I know because I was reading about Amazon content and the digital, like the series. So Sasquatch erotic fiction was very popular.
When? In 1964?
Shut up, Jessica. It still is right now. Get with the times, you non-sexual woman.
Oh my God. I know.
I've
you
never read it.
I know you do. I
swear.
know it.
Honest to God, like hand on my heart, I have not. I think it's very funny.
Hand
but
on your heart, my foot. I saw how excited you got over the real Sasquatch.
I really am. Which, who knows, maybe this will lead to me reading it. I don't know. And I keep saying, I even said to Dan Tipton, which we'll talk about that in a minute. I said to Dan Tipton, I was like, how does he use the keys so well with those gloves on? Are there holes cut? Like, I'm obsessed with knowing how he does it.
And I have a feeling you're going to watch enough of it to find out.
Oh, I will.
God.
Oh, I will.
What did Dan think of the Sasquatch?
The same thing he thinks about everything to do with me. Okay, well, that's Dana. Super not shocked, but just not into it.
I'm 100% sure that Sasquatch don't do a cheek peel.
No, but it's hairy. It's so hairy. The parts probably just go peep, 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 peep through the hair. Is this a new low for us?
Yes, it is.
Sorry, guys. It's been a rough week.
Oh my God.
Speaking of.
Hello. Our episode, which has now become known as the Fart episode, multiple people have written in and saying, or they even put it, a few people that reviewed it wrote, an episode, I think it was 27, the quote fart episode is hands down my favorite so far. It's either 27 or 28.
You know why? Because there's probably two camps. There's the cheek peel camp with Dana, and then there's the what are you talking about? I'm so angry camp with Jessica.
Oh my God.
How was your week?
It was great.
I know that's a
It's
lie.
dandy. It is a lie. I'll refrain from how my week was, other than saying today I did go see a play. It was, I did not care for the play, but the staging of it was actually amazing.
Really?
Yeah, like, really impressive.
Oh, good.
And then I went to Italy.
What is that?
Oh, my
Is that
God.
in Los Feliz?
No, it's actually, the LA location is in Century City.
Oh, okay. I wasn't close.
Well, you're gonna freak out. And it's not too fancy. Trust me, you'll love it.
I have to go.
It's a 3-story Italian food hall.
I'm sorry? What is a food hall?
It
sounds like
started
somewhere
in
I need to
Italy.
live.
And then it came to New York, and then they brought it. Now it's like in cities, like major cities around the world. They just opened one in Vegas. They're opening one in Toronto in 2019, so I'm guessing this fall at this point. The bottom floor is coffee bar. Lavazza.
Okay, so my guess is it's 3 stories that
Food.
you walk up and eat everything you want. That sounds incredible.
Heavenly.
And you're getting exercise.
Yeah. And I'm serious. I'm going to make this really quick because I could talk about Italy for 2 days. They have 3 restaurants within. The rooftop one is called Terra. It's phenomenal. The view is absolutely spectacular. You can see Beverly Hills. You can see the Santa Monica mountain range.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. Food is outrageously
and it's
good.
not that expensive?
It's, I
Like
mean,
mid-level?
it's not outrageous. And they have like skewers. Like they're known for their plancha grill that they can crank up and down over the fire. So you can go and get like grilled lamb, grilled beef, grilled chicken. And I'm telling you, I had grilled asparagus. It's just asparagus. But it is grilled like with char marks and a little bit of sea salt on top.
Oh, yummy.
It's to die for. So like they have little bites you can get. If you live
I
in
have to
LA,
go.
go to Terra, treat yourself at least to a cocktail and some grilled asparagus, okay? But you're not going to stop there. But let me tell you something, Dana. The bottom floor is a gelateria.
Oh, come on.
Right, just made up that pronunciation, but it's
I'm sure that's
gelato that they make every day. So you can get just the gelato. They can put it in it's called like a bombolina or something, like an Italian donut.
Shut up.
They'll put gelato in it, or fresh custard, or one of their house-made jams. They fill cannolis on the spot.
Shut up.
I bring a tear to your eye.
Why?
It's kind of over, but again, you can just go in and get like a slice of the freshest, best pizza you've ever had for $4.50. Like, I'm sold, okay? And the butcher, oh my God, you can walk up and be like, "Can I try the prosciutto?" And the guy knows his stuff so well. And he asks you like, "Oh, do you want sweet or salty? Or do you like aged? Or do you like..."
Wow. I didn't even know those were options.
Yeah, everybody's so like well trained there and treat yourself and go to Italy. It's unreal.
Wow.
Enough with that. I'm sorry. It's like not like you see my eyes getting wet. It's a Willy Wonka for Italian food.
I'm going to have to go.
It's really ridiculous.
Okay. Do you want to ask me how my week is, even though I've dumped it all to you in the green room on my porch? So I'm just going to be very brief about it because there are some things that happened this week that I'm going to talk about in my rant, unfortunately. So I had a very up and down week, severe in every way, like severely wonderful and severely horrible. Something happened every day of the week to the point that I felt like I was cursed, asked Dan Tipton if I needed to go to a voodoo doctor, and then bought sage. But I want to share a couple of great things that happened. So Sunday was my birthday. Thank you all so much for all of your nice likes and comments. And Jessica, thank you for the post. Unfortunately, like the day, my actual birthday when it happened, I lost my phone. So we'll get into that later. But a couple of great things that happened. We've been very vague about this over the last few months, just because of a safety concern for my family.
Totally.
But Dan Tipton has been working on a movie in Pittsburgh, and he's been gone for about 4 or 5 months, which has been, I would just want to shout out all you single parents out there. We all say, oh yeah, it's difficult. I'm telling you, I walked in your shoes for a few months. I'm out here in Los Angeles alone, no family. And I'm telling you, you guys are absolute superheroes.
Yep.
I don't know how you do it. You're stronger than I am. And shout out, high fives, praise to all of you. You're amazing. So Saturday night, I knew I was going to dinner with some friends. And I was not aware that Dan Tipton was flying home a week early to surprise me for my birthday forever. He's staying home. And so that was amazing. He's been back now. And right away I had to travel and a bunch of other things happened. So we haven't gotten to spend, like, we've also had some tragedy in our family, so we haven't gotten to really, really enjoy each other. But I'm just telling you, I know I complain about Dan Tipton all the time, but man, we're so glad to have him home.
Aw.
He's just precious.
I love it.
So anyway, and then he also arranged, not only did he come home early and surprise me, the day, like he got in Saturday night, on my birthday on Sunday, my son and he and I went for Cheesecake Factory because that's my son's favorite.
Mhm.
And Dan had worked out and been planning. He surprised me. And my girlfriend, Kristen Marie from Boston, flew in to surprise
So
me for my
awesome.
birthday. And when I saw her, I threw my fork in the middle of Cheesecake Factory and started crying.
I love
And
that.
she was laughing. And she goes, well, I have another surprise. I'm moving back. So
It's
my
the
friend
best.
Kristen, I met out here in Los Angeles years and years ago in my level 1 improv class. About 12 years ago, she moved back to Boston for some family things.
Mhm.
And now she's coming back, and I just couldn't be any happier.
So amazing.
Yeah, she even accompanied me. I'll maybe talk a little bit about this real quick, to Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas this week. As some of you may know, I do a once a week guest advice thing with the guys of That's Gold with Steve Heitner and Rich Johnson. If you have dudes in your life, or if you like sports and betting and listening to dudes talk about dude stuff, check it out. They're really fun. They flew me out to Vegas and we did a podcast in this place called the
So
Golden
awesome.
Tiki Bar, and it was really fun. And Krista Marie was on the show, and it just was great. So that was kind of the good parts of my week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yay. Should we get into it?
Let's do it. Oh, really quick, you guys. We're going to tell you how to get in touch with us.
Oh, God, I forgot.
And please, thank you for those of you who follow. I'm not begging you to follow us, but if you don't want to just give us follow
You don't
on
even have to look at our stuff.
one of the platforms, great, because we really do like add some little bonus things, and we make videos sometimes and things like
And
that.
we talk
that-
about people and
There's things that we can do through social media that we can't do just talking on the air as you're hearing us. So you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves Podcast. Twitter, we are at Raves_the. You can email us at the Rants and Raves Podcast at gmail.com or directly through our website. There is a contact button and you can email us through there. We also obviously get messages from you through DM on Instagram and Facebook.
Test, test, test. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm probably going to put in you may have heard a kalimba sound effect.
I hope so.
I happened to look over and realize as Jessica was talking, I couldn't see it on my recording screen. So just really on brand for this week. The first 20 minutes of the show, you may notice, don't sound quite right. And that's because I didn't have our microphones plugged in. I'm just a mom in my back room at now almost midnight.
Oh my God. Well, no, you know what? The microphones are plugged in because we can hear each other
But they
perfectly in
weren't
our
plugged
headphones.
into my computer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Sorry about it, guys. Feel free not to listen to this, but please download it and share with your friends. And now, should we get into our rant?
Let's do it. All right. I know you had a lot to rant about this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of things about the same subject, and that's a lot for someone to deal with. So why don't you tell us about that?
Well, so I've got quite a few things to kind of rant about. One of the things I want to bring up this week is having to do specifically with some rideshare incidents I've had this week.
I already hate it.
Awful. But also about kindness. I think that like one of our desires is to put more goodness into the world in the hopes that people can receive that. And a lot of times I feel like people looking for this kind of content, we're preaching to the choir.
Right.
All of our listeners are so amazing. But maybe, just maybe this will get to the ears of somebody. So I'll start with the rideshare stuff. Something that happened to me on Sunday. I accidentally, I believe, left my phone in a Lyft. And I had previously switched from Uber to Lyft because I had been told they were better customer service. They had higher ethics in their company. They treated their employees better. And I was a victim of vomit fraud. So with Uber. So I don't know if you guys know what that is, but you can Google it. It comes up pretty quickly. It had been a problem. I think they've tried to address it now, but a driver claimed that I puked in their car after leaving a party, and I just didn't. There's nothing else to say about that.
Right.
I just didn't. And I happened to have a witness in the car with me. My friend Kate was with me, and so I went back and forth with them because I woke up the next morning and I had a $250 charge for a car cleaning in addition to my like $8 ride.
Oh my
And so I got a hold best I could. It's very, very hard to get a hold of these companies. They very much separate themselves from their drivers. Like if you have an issue, a lot of times they don't care and they'll say they're independent contractors, sorry, and absolve themselves.
Right.
But I did get a hold of them and I said, I didn't vomit in this driver's car. I'm not paying this. Please refund, take the charge off. They said, you did. The driver reported it and sent us pictures. And I said, I have a witness. Send me the pictures. And then they said, oh, never mind. We'll just go ahead and let it go this time. I'm like, let what go? I didn't puke in the car.
Right.
You obviously don't have pictures or you would have sent them to me, because they're time stamped.
Right.
So that made me very angry. And I did say, I said, if you don't remove the charge, I'll just go to my bank and tell them not to pay it. And you can give me a bad star review and I'll delete you, right? Well, it made me mad enough that I did delete them. And I had heard that about Lyft, so I switched to Lyft. Unfortunately, I have to report to y'all, I have had 3 major incidents with Lyft this week. So on Sunday, which was my birthday, my girlfriend surprised me by coming in town and she took me to the Abbey, which is a very fun, I call it Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like it's like a village almost. They have a bakery in there. There's stripper poles on one side. There's bars everywhere. Like it's this massive gay bar kind of in Boys Town a little. It's right in the middle of Boys Town. And it's very fun, very silly. But I hadn't been there in probably 15 years. But my girlfriend wanted to meet some of her friends there and just be silly for the evening. Well, I lost my phone and I think I left it in the Lyft. I immediately called, filed a thing, and they said, well, the driver's not getting back to us, which I think is
shocker.
Horrible. Like if they're employed by you, and I'll talk more about this because as time went on anyway. So I want to shout out Mel's Diner because that's where we happened to be. And our server was just amazing. He let me use his phone to call Dan Tipton to try and get information from my account. So we get into another Lyft to take us 1 mile up the road to her car because we had walked from her car to the Abbey and then took a half-mile ride down to Mel's and wanted a mile ride back up to the car. I get in the car and I say to the driver, I'm like, hey, listen, I left my phone, I think, in the previous Lyft we took, and he's not responding for over an hour to Lyft to like get my phone, and there's sentimental. That's the thing. It wasn't about the phone.
Right.
I stopped uploading everything to cloud because a lot of people were getting hacked in November, and so I unfortunately have lost a year of my life. Like pictures of my terminally ill mother, pictures of, which I haven't mentioned yet, my kitty cat that I had to let go of today, my 17-year-old kitty cat. I'm telling you guys, the hits have just been coming one after another. I'm sorry, it's still pretty fresh. So I said to this man, do you not have to return calls to your employer? And he didn't speak back to me. And I go, hello, I'm talking to you. And he didn't say a word. And I said, do you speak English? Because I thought, well, maybe he doesn't understand what I'm saying, That man turned around and yelled at us. How am I supposed to know? And I said, because you work for the company. He goes, so? And I said, okay, I guess my question is, and he's yelling at us. I said, I guess my question is, if I left my phone in your car, how might I go about getting it back? Because then I'm getting mad, right?
Of course.
And I'm already emotional as fuck. And he turned around and screamed at us and said, you are no relation to me. We have no relation. I don't care.
Oh, no. I would have burned the place down.
And I said, you're not a human?
Oh, my God.
He goes, why would I need to help you? And I said, because you're a human. You're not a human. I have pictures of my child on that phone, things I will never be able to get back. And he goes, no, and told us to get out. We got out at the car, but I couldn't believe, and it's brought up for me. I've been going through so many hard times with, some family things, just a lot of things. I don't even want to list them all. Losing my kitty cat today. I haven't even posted like a picture of like, we lost Daphne today. Like, I'm just not there yet.
Of course.
So anyway, I just want to say, all that man had to say to me, even if he didn't care.
Right.
All he had to say is, I don't know, ma'am. I'm sorry that happened to you. And I would have been out of his hair.
Absolutely.
I would have said, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, but thank you. And it would have given me a half a second of peace. But instead, he screamed at me, you are no relation to me. I don't care. And that's a massive problem in our world today.
It's beyond.
I said to Jessica out on the porch earlier, I feel like we're literally turning into insects, like with no ability to have compassion, because there is a massive problem in our world today that if it isn't affecting me, or it doesn't hurt me, or it hasn't happened to me, I don't care.
Absolutely.
We cannot be like that.
No.
Kindness really does matter, and it goes far, and it's healing, and it's helpful, and it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing.
It really makes me sick that first of all, that we are no relation is so incredibly bizarre. I mean, unless you're someone who's so insular, you only deal with your own family that came to you by blood, if that's the case.
And everyone else can fucking die.
But to say I don't care, and you make a great point, and I truly believe at the center of all of it, if people did just do that, just say, I don't know, I'm so sorry, or I don't know the answer, but let me see if I can help you.
Here's
just have to say,
the
I'm
email
sorry.
address that I use from the company. Maybe that'll help you. Anything. Because I'll tell you, I went back the next day to the Abbey, and shout out to the Abbey and to Victor at the Abbey. I don't know if you guys know him, but I'm telling you, the guy's tops. He was because I literally went in there and I filed a police report, and he was pretty not friendly at first, because I'm sure they get it all the time, until he decided he wanted to flirt with Kristen Marie, and then he was super helpful, so I was very grateful. But, Lyft had blown me off several times. The first time I called Mel's, they were like, you're going to have to call back in 4 hours, we're busy. What? I was like, there's no one in your office to look? Like, my server guy, shout out, but actual Mel's, that was kind of shitty.
Yeah, that is.
I guarantee you there's someone doing paperwork in there right now that can look in the lost and found box and give me peace of mind. So I had been treated so horribly so many times in that 24-hour period that when I walked into the Abbey, I go, okay, I'm going to say something to you that I'm sure you hear all the time, but I'm telling you I'm having a hard time, and I am begging you to see my face as a human being and have 1 second of compassion just to hear my story. And he goes, okay, honey, what's going on? And I can't tell you how helpful and kind he was, and even sent me home with a free giant fucking peanut butter ding dong homemade in the bakery at the Abbey. I can't tell you how kind they were.
No, that's so sweet.
It was really lovely. So then I went to Vegas, and a few things happened there. We had really great times, and then we also had really bad times. I decided I had a real bad taste in my mouth with rideshare. So we went out the front of the hotel, and I said, we were headed to the taping. I said, let's just grab a cab. They're right here. There's 6 of them. It's a mile away. Literally, again, these 1 mile trips, I need to just start walking because they're killing me. It was a mile away from the hotel, and Dan Tipton had planned that. He got my hotel
But a mile in Vegas is like 20 miles.
Right. You can't really walk it. No. And we were running a little behind. Like, we just needed to get there. So we get in a cab, and I'm sorry. For all of you who live in big cities and use cabs all the time, I apologize. But they fucking gross me out. They stink. They're dirty. I don't want to touch anything. They're just not pleasant. And so the driver, when I got in the car, Jessica, I noticed on the meter, it was already at $3.95. He was already running his meter while he was waiting for his next ride. Which, is that even legal?
No.
But I was in a hurry and I didn't say anything. And that's, of course, how they get away with that stuff. And so when we both got in the car and buckled up, he was sitting there and just sitting and waving cars on to pass him. And the whole time the meter's ticking up, okay? Because it's time.
Right.
And finally, Kristen Marie goes, can you please go? We're in kind of a hurry. And she's Boston, like she doesn't care, she'll say. And he goes, please, just be patient. We're just safe. And he finally pulls forward. He's still letting tons of people in front of him. And then all of a sudden he starts going, oh no, my battery is dead. I don't know where we're going. I've never heard of this place. Should I just drive around?
What?
Kristen Marie goes, oh, Jesus Christ, no. And turns on her Waze and makes him listen to her Waze from her phone.
Good.
But Jessica, all of a sudden, his phone started working, and he had directions. So then the place, it's really weird. The place that we were at was a strip mall, kind of. So you had to pull into the parking lot, and it's a long, thin parking lot. So he pulls in, and I would say the door to the bar was maybe 800 feet from the car. and he was letting parking lot traffic go. He was waving them the whole time the meter's running up. And we go, okay, we're going to get out. We can see the door from here. We're going to walk. And he goes, no. It's a safety issue. Please, just stay in. Jessica, I'm not joking. He locked us in the car. We couldn't get out.
No.
Until he decided to move and pull up to the door right when it ticked over to an extra $1. It cost me $16.95 to go a mile. And he kept us in the car to let it roll up. But I was just like, I can't, whatever. It's $16. Fine. I won't eat Taco Bell for 6 months. Because isn't it that cheap, honestly? I don't know how they make a profit. But anyway. So then you would think I'm done. How long has this story been? An hour and a half? I'm not. Okay, so that's Gold Show was
Were you scared? I have to go back to the locking really quick. I would have freaked out if I heard the doors lock.
For a second, I started like pulling it really hard. And then he started to move and I knew he would let us out when we got there. But it did freak me out a little bit. And Kristen Marie was furious. She was like, Jesus, let us out, you know. So anyway, which I'm so grateful I was with her. If I was alone, it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
So anyway, then the That's Gold guys were so kind. They flew me out. And of course, Rich was like, it's not that fancy, but you know, it'll get you. They flew me out on Jet Suite X, which is like private jets.
Was it from Van
From
Nuys
Burbank.
Airport? Oh, I didn't know they did that from Burbank.
Yes.
Cool.
And it's a private hangar away from the regular. Honest to God, you guys, if you've never done this, it's not super expensive. Even if you just do it one way. I literally got out of the car, walked up to the door, and was sitting in a luxurious lounge couch with all kinds of treats and snacks to get onto the plane. They were like, do you have any of these things in your bag? And I said, nope. They swiped it with the little alcohol swab, and I was in. All the drinks and snacks on the plane are free. And I got like a Belgian waffle.
Nice.
Alcoholic beverages are free. They bring by this basket of things with 7 different treats, and you can have as many as you want. It's insane.
So nice.
It's insane. And so when I landed at their private hangar. Well, the ride shares are very familiar with it because they're busy.
Sure.
And so Dan tipped it because I had lost my phone. I was in Vegas all week without my phone. I had gotten a temporary phone, which is, I don't like it, but I'm grateful for it.
She had to lower her standards and go down to a Samsung or I don't even know if it's a Samsung.
It's a Samsung, it is.
But I have a Droid.
I will say, for being a temporary phone, thinking about what we used to have, like, it does amazing. I'm super grateful. It's just I had to relearn everything.
It's not compatible with Mac
it's
stuff.
Not even compatible.
And I use a Mac computer, so
I don't know how you do it. It would drive me crazy. I tried to plug it into my car, and it's not even compatible with my car. Whereas my iPhone, I just plugged it in from day one, and it was off and running, and I was like, this is magic. Anyway, so I land. Dan Tipton calls me Lyft. Sorry, Lyft, gonna use your name. The man that was supposed to pick me up, on the app, it shows you what color the car is and their license plate number, so you know how to find them in case there's a lot of people, and there were. We had just landed. He had pulled up past the pickup point in front of a car where I couldn't see his license plate. And because the color of his car wasn't listed, I didn't know what I was looking for. So once they arrive, they set a timer for 5 minutes. And if you don't get in their car in 5 minutes, they'll charge you and drive away. So I noticed him and I walked up there. And all this time, Dan Tipton was texting and calling, and he refused to answer, which is exactly what happened to me.
Right.
It took him, they said the driver got back to them. It was over 24 hours. Okay. And I have more to say about that as well. But anyway, I walked up to his car and I was on the phone with Dan, and Dan was like, I'm texting him, I'm calling him, he won't answer, he won't respond. I told him that you are there, you're a redhead. There aren't a million redheads everywhere, you know. And so I walked up to this man's car and I was going, I'm Dana, are you? And then I knocked on his window. He stared me in the face. He put his car in drive, almost ran over my toes, and peeled out. And had to turn left to get out of the parking lot. So he had to drive back in front of me, just through a median, a very slim median. So he was looking right at me. And 6 valet men were screaming at that man to stop. And he did not, and he charged me. So the next man, Dan called somebody else to pick me up because I didn't have, he was working from home. I didn't have anyone else to pick me up. I didn't have my car.
God dang it.
This is after, I forgot this, you guys, it's such a tangled web. Kristen Marie missed her flight in Vegas. She got there and the plane wasn't leaving for 40 minutes, but they had closed the undercargo. And she said, but I'm not checking luggage. She had no luggage to check. The plane was at the gate.
And they still wouldn't let her on.
I've
I've had
plane.
that happen. That makes me livid for her.
They're sitting there and the door's open and they won't let you on even if you don't have to check baggage. Literally, all you have to do is walk in and sit down in your seat. They wouldn't let her. She had to rent a car and drive back from Las Vegas
Unreal.
while I flew home on a private jet. And the thing is, I tried to get her on my jet. I went up to the counter and I said, I know this is so weird. My girlfriend just missed her flight. Are there seats available? Can I? Because I was going to buy her a seat home.
Yes.
And because she was so kind to go with me anyway.
Course.
And the girl goes, let me look. It's a pretty full flight. Jessica, I'm not even joking. It was half empty all the way home.
That's not cool.
And so then the next guy that Dan called for me, shout out Canada. I know we have listeners in Canada, and I'm telling you, I'm madly in love with you. He was the nicest man. And I only found out through conversation because he was so friendly that he was from Canada. And I was like, makes sense. He said to me, he was like, in case you guys don't know, I want you to listen if you've been tuning me out because I've been prattling on for way too long about how shitty things are. Listen to this. Bing bong, listen. It's a scam that some drivers are doing where they hide their car where you can't see their license. They don't put the color in, and they're allowed to leave 20 seconds before the 5-minute timer is up, even if they're looking at your, I'm sure they're not supposed to, but even if they're looking at your face, they will, because through the company they have permission. And the guy said basically what they're doing, he said, don't pay that and file a complaint. He said basically what they're doing, they'll come somewhere like here where people, there's a lot of rides.
Yep.
They will hide their car, wait for 5 minutes, cancel you, make the charge that it costs for a canceled ride, and immediately have another ride probably right behind you.
Yep.
And it's
disgusting.
a scam. Yeah, and the rideshare companies are doing nothing to prevent it. Also, my nanny, she did a lot of research because she's a fucking bulldog and a guardian angel, not a lover. Kira went on, and there's a huge Reddit thread right now where even drivers are getting involved. And they said that these rideshare companies make it such a hassle to return lost items that a lot of times if someone leaves something in their car, they'll just throw it away, even phones.
So
It would be so easy for them to have a hub or a locker, like you mentioned, to just
Totally.
drop off lost items, but they don't want to do it because they're like, nope, independent contractors, your problem, not ours. And I'll tell you, I emailed back and forth with Lyft so many times saying, I don't think you're reading my emails. You're telling me to do things I've already said I did. And I even said, I'm a public figure. This is a safety risk for my family.
Yeah.
I have photos of my sick mother on there. I have photos, I told you earlier, photos of Daphne, who I had to
Yes.
lay to rest today. And, it's just a lot. And I said, you're responding and telling me to do things I've already detailed in these messages I've done. So it makes me feel like you haven't even told the driver I'm offering a reward.
Of course.
And I said, I didn't want to be this way, but I am a public figure. I do have a large following, and I will go public. I have looped in my PR manager. I've asked you for contact to your PR firm, to your PR people or case management. I've been ignored all 3 times. I haven't been given any information. And when I said, you're having problems in your company and I think you could use the free press, and if you help me and this does work, I will absolutely say you helped me.
Of course.
I will be glad to tell my fan base that you helped me return something very important to me. And it was only after that they responded to me and said, this is a supervisor, which is disappointing. And I had a lot of people saying online to me, here's some steps to take. This happened to me. I called about it. They said, it's not there. And then when I offered a reward, all of a sudden it showed up. So
dirty.
I mean, it feels like in this day and age, sometimes rideshare is almost a necessity in some ways. It's cheaper in a lot of ways, but it's also really, really the wild, wild west and not monitored very well right now.
Did you tweet about it?
I haven't yet because I haven't tweeted in so long.
See, I know, me neither. And my husband was getting mad at me because he goes, something came up recently, and I said, that doesn't work anyways. And one of our friends jumped in and said, yes, it does.
It really does.
And I did it when I was at an airport, and it was the only way to get their damn attention.
Now, I've tried it and it not worked. Like American Airlines really did me dirty one time, and they couldn't have cared less.
Exactly.
But Lyft is in, so both the Uber and Lyft are in a lot of trouble right now, and they are responding.
He's mad that I didn't tweet at Air Canada about the vomit
I'm a little bit, I told you to do that too. because I thought it was
I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt for real, and I'm like, you know what? If they come through and they're apologetic at what, even though they didn't throw up on me, but if they're apologetic and like try to do something other than offer me $25 towards a future purchase that I will not ever be taking.
That was biological assault, and whether it was their fault or not, it's their company, and they could at least say, we feel really bad, here's a free flight.
But I'm serious, like I at least had the gumption, and I was like conscious of it. I'm like, yeah, I'm livid, and I could have blazed it up on Twitter. I have like 100 followers. Nobody would give a shit.
I know, nobody ever. That's why I stopped tweeting, because I think I had like 100 or something, and like nobody ever even hearted anything I ever posted, and it started making me insecure. I'm like, not one heart? Oh my god.
But I'm serious. I really thought, I'm like, you know what? The instinct is to go crazy about this, and I'm like, I don't need to like annihilate, even though they're a giant company, I don't need to go crazy and be negative about something without even giving them a chance to reply or make it right. And they didn't, and therefore, as usual, what did I do? Am I tapping?
No, I'm mad at them. That's.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me. I'm like, oh god.
No, that Powell scowl was for them, not you.
You guys, I just got so scared because I like twiddle my pen like a fidget spinner, and I tap my fingers. And
usually I am like, I shoot you a dirty look. No, that was for them, not you.
But yeah, I'm serious. Like, I didn't do it because I felt bad, and then, as I usually do, I get real fired up, and then I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Well, because at some point you're like, it's more damaging to me to hold on to it. Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I gotta let this.
That's like
go.
somebody said to me, did you call that cab company and write down that number? And I was like, I gotta be honest with you, I got bigger fish to fry right now. I can't. I don't even have the energy.
Exactly.
It's $16.
Yeah.
I can't.
Sometimes
I'm
it
not
really
rich.
is better to just move on.
It probably would be worth $50 to me to just not have something to worry about for a millisecond.
Mm-hmm. You want me to tell you? I'm going to end this with a nice note of customer service because it just happened this week, so it's very apropos.
Really?
You had been recommending the lovely restaurant/bar that has opened up in a Whole Foods near us in LA, the amazing Burbank Whole Foods.
Yes.
So my husband and I rarely get any days off together these days. So I had a day off, so did he. I had an appointment. He came with me, and then afterwards we, had a wild night out on a Friday night.
Oh,
spent it at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't believe I'm spending my day off in a grocery store.
I know, but that Whole Foods is popping on Friday nights.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
So it was great. And we went to that restaurant area, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, you know what? Let's grab dinner and then we can do some shopping to take some stuff home. Mm-hmm. So we went in. It was great. Service was lovely. The DJ was amazing.
DJ was there, yes.
It was great. I loved it. And they have these amazing specials, right? Like, did you... Every day of the week, or Monday through Friday at least, it's a meal with a beer for $12. Mm-hmm. Can't beat it, right?
Nope.
So we both got the fish and chips.
Oh,
and I'm like,
good?
No.
Oh no, that's disappointing.
We got it, but I'm like, fish and chips and a beer, and they have good beers. They have like a really nice tap.
Yeah.
List, and I'm like, you cannot beat it. All right, I guess I'm getting the fish and chips, even though of course I wanted like a burger or a pulled pork sandwich.
I know.
So we got the fish and chips, and it came out, and it was like so brown that it was like chocolate brown. Okay, nothing fried should be that dark. Okay,
it's supposed to be golden.
Yeah, thank you. It was really, really dark. So instantly I was mad because I'm like, that's not going to be good.
Yeah,
I don't want that, and I'm furious because you can't tell me that the kitchen or my server didn't notice that. And if you didn't, then you need to get some glasses.
Right.
Okay. So Alan bit into it and starts eating it. I took one bite and I almost spit it out, but I'm not rude. So I didn't. I swallowed it. And then I was like, I'm not eating this. And I never do that. I usually force myself to eat something I don't like. And I'm always too scared to complain about food. I'll speak up about certain, but again, a lot of the times I get all fired up and then I'm like, forget it. And I walk away with my tail between my legs, annoyed, but I just didn't want it. And I was like, you know what? I don't know why I had this epiphany. I'm like, I'm a grown ass woman. I don't have to eat this.
No.
And I'm not going to.
Especially when I'm paying for it.
But why didn't I ask for a refund? I didn't, or ask for something else. I just pushed it aside and I asked the guy, I'm like, the sushi, I'm like, are they making it when it's ordered or are you going to pull something out of the case? Because I was like mad. So I was kind of a bitch. And he goes, no, they make it when you order. I said, I'd like to order some sushi then. Still waiting for him to notice that I didn't touch my food. He didn't. So anyways, I'm like, I don't care. It's $12. Who cares? Well, I guess maybe it was a bar manager and he walked by and he goes, oh, are you done with this? I'm like, yep. He goes, was it not good? And I said, you know what? And I just went, no, I'm like, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm like, it's inedible. I'm like, I just ordered another meal. And he goes, I am so sorry. And he goes, I will be comping what you just ordered.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He's like, I'm really sorry. And I was like, oh, great. So my point of that tribe is,
that is good
it was really
service.
impressive that maybe
And
he was the
shocking
bar
that
manager or the
He
restaurant
noticed.
manager.
You didn't even have to say.
No.
That's really
And he,
awesome.
without being inappropriate, because I don't like when people scold an employee. I don't think that helps.
No,
There's a way to teach and like have a moment. And he, I could hear him, but like not loudly. He's like, this is the third order that came out looking like this. He goes, this is not okay.
They
And
maybe had somebody new back there or something. Yeah.
But it was very nice and very
really
refreshing
nice. Yeah.
that he noticed it and was he couldn't have been lovelier about it. Wasn't annoyed, didn't seem inconvenienced.
Yeah. And honestly, that's what I'm talking about. Like, kindness matters. Like, that's a trickle down effect, because then instantly you felt better.
I felt better. I left a really nice tip.
Yeah.
It's
like,
crazy.
We all get it. Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
But sometimes just a little kindness makes it all okay,
Totally.
Anyway. So yeah, basically, like, I lost my phone. I lost my kitty cat.
Aww.
I got a year older. I got my husband back.
Yes.
I got my friend back. Like, it's been all over the place.
No, I know.
I'm still, there's some other things going on in my family. It just, like I said, it keeps coming, but we're getting through it together.
Yes.
And I adore you. And I was saying,
stop. I adore you.
When I was editing on Monday,
You were checking on me this week when you had your
texting
own
you, and
stuff to worry
I felt like I was
about.
bugging you. I was like, tell Alan he
No.
can text me if you're sick of hearing from me.
No.
So yeah, we're going to get through this all together.
Yeah.
And when I say all of us, I mean those of you that are forcing yourselves to listen to our crazy voices too.
Also, we weren't trying to be cryptic. I had a few people reach out, even like some of my very close friends who were like, is everything okay? After that video that we posted recently when we were going to make our little video shout outs to listeners and stuff. And so yeah, nobody's trying to be cryptic here, but also a lot of the time there's a lot of unknowns, and we both also have a lot of unknowns.
And I also have a lot of, like, I have to think about family privacy, so it's not that we're trying to be weird, but
and I've been way too emotional. I am going to share what's been going on with me, but not now. I'm going to a little bit down the road.
Yeah.
But I have like been somebody who's crying at the drop of a hat for a number of reasons for the last 3.5 weeks. I'm fine, everybody.
We're going to make it.
But I couldn't even talk about it if I wanted to because I'm too weepy right now. So we're really...
we're so grateful. Like, I've had a lot of people reach out to me too.
Yeah.
And it's so kind. Thank you. And honestly, it helps. It really, really
Totally.
does. So we're okay. Things are hard.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I'm in a shit shower right now.
And we both need a Silkwood shower.
I know. But I am alive and loved, and we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are very loved. You saw even people that don't even know you.
I love
sent
it.
you many.
Do you know that I missed?
Good
I'm gonna
messages.
have to go back this week and look at my social media and stuff because I missed so much of it because
I'm
I
sure.
lost my phone on my birthday.
Yeah, that's the pits.
I know. Anyway, can we have a cleansing breath?
Let's do it.
I just also want to say all these things that we share, like, I want you guys, part of the rideshare stuff, like, it's a warning, please be aware of that. Also to know, we know you guys are going through hard things too, and we can empathize and sympathize, and hopefully you'll hear these things and know you're not alone. So we're not using you as therapists. I have a therapist and I love her. And her name's Jessica Young. No, I'm just kidding. I have 2 to 5 therapists. So
the doctor is in. 5 cents, please.
yes,
Wasn't that
absolutely.
Lucy's sign?
That was Lucy. Yes. Yes, you had it.
We need to make a little...
We have to Lucy the doggy.
Yes, we need to
she's
make her a
wanting
little
her-
box.
Oh my God,
Like
yes. Don't you feel like she wanted her job as producer back tonight? She came right in here, she curled up, and she's sound asleep. She's no help.
She's not even facing us.
No, but I do have to say, she got injured last week, so maybe we have to give her a break. We'll give her till, well, we're going to be recording in 48 hours again. So
Not even.
Okay, let's get
Oh my God.
into our cleansing breath.
Yes.
If you're by yourself, feel free to yell and scream out. If you're not by yourself but not easily embarrassed, like my friend Kristen Marie, scream in public. We're going to take a deep breath in and out. Just try to let go.
Mm-hmm.
It really does feel good.
Breathing, I'm telling you.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
I tried to do a lot of cleansing breaths at an appointment recently, a doctor's appointment, because I was trying to calm myself down because I can get really worked up.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to do cleansing breaths and then simultaneously trying to remember meditation things
Yes,
from
yes,
yoga.
yes.
But you know what?
Do you know that
It's the
one
only
time
thing you can do sometimes.
things have been, rough, and I've shared on other platforms and stuff, and maybe even on this show, that I do occasionally have panic attacks, and it's started when I was 27, and it's debilitating.
Yeah.
I am very lucky that they're pretty short, and Dan Tipton.
Mine aren't.
I know. I'm so sorry. Dan Tipton he's been around me long enough to know how to kind of talk me down. So I can
That's
always,
good.
he's amazing. He'll stop anything he's doing to talk me out of it. And so I did have a panic attack last week, but so I have had them before when I was trying my hardest to do cleansing breaths, and then it just turned into I can't breathe, and a
Really?
panic attack. Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that
interesting.
weird?
Yeah,
Very odd.
it is.
I don't have an answer for that, so sorry I shared that scary story. Okay, you are up
my
first for corners.
This is
This
well,
is
I'm going to add in
incredible.
this one is so short. I have
I feel like I have 50 things waiting for corners.
I have a weirdo of the week and then something else. It's very short. You're weird. You're so very weird.
You know how mad? Why must you bring your weirdness here? You know how mad I get at you singing that? And that it's stuck in my brain when I can't even remember like 3/4 of American history.
Oh my God.
I gotta
love
be honest, tonight, it's a comfort. I'll be honest.
I am telling you, this only will work if I have somehow a 24-hour recording device. I need to capture Alan singing it. Because he doesn't sing the words right, but it makes me so happy and I love it.
A little snippet. Could we use that?
Yeah, but it's like
Because I
he
said,
moves the words around.
I know, but I said it's not the right tune, and yet it's instantly recognizable. I don't know how he did it.
It's so
incredible.
funny. Oh my God. Okay, this is Weirdo of the Week. It's very brief because, it's just so nuts what people do. This is coming to us from Sugarland, Texas.
Okay.
Police in suburban Houston are looking for a woman who used a power tool to break into a Botox clinic and steal anti-aging products.
Lady, I'm not going to lie. I'm feeling you. I've been there. I just had another birthday.
No.
Okay, I got to hear what this woman did.
Sugarland police say surveillance cameras capture the burglary at the Botox RN MD spa. Yeah. I love how they put the name RN and MD in spa. I wonder
Just
if they
so you
really
know-
do have registered nurses and medical doctors there. I mean, I sure hope they do.
I hope they do. Just so you know, this is a very professional and accredited place.
Also, why did I just get angry at the place that did Botox? They're the ones that got ripped off. I just insinuated like they were the charlatans or the criminals.
I followed
I'm
right
sorry,
along.
people.
I'm a sheeple. I'm a sheeple.
The footage shows a woman approaching the locked door of the spa and trying unsuccessfully to open it. Oh, you don't say.
Right.
She then retrieves a battery-powered grinding saw from a Mercedes SUV and uses it to cut into the clinic's
Mercedes?
front door.
May I pause you for a second? I thought this was like a mom who lost her shit, didn't have a lot of money, like us. No, this is, you're driving a Mercedes?
Yep.
You can go buy your Botox. You can afford Rejuvederm. You don't even have to go Botox, you Richie Rich.
Oh my God. Well, that's the crazy part. And I saw a clip of her. And yeah, she just looks like your average I don't know what to say. It's not like she, looked like she was
psycho.
going to burgle. I sound so stupid right now.
But
I just
some
said
people-
burgle too, by the
I
way.
love it. I wasn't going to point it out. I love it so much.
And all it says is authorities say the woman stole an undisclosed amount of products from the clinic before driving away. So she got away.
Too. Was it premeditated or was she like, no, I always carry a grinder?
Absolutely, I'm sure it is. But it also says it's battery operated. I'm like, how did a battery operated saw make it so that you could open up a door to a medical clinic? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's probably like drills, like so that it's cordless. So it's probably still really powerful.
But it's also
It's not like what they use on crazy
Right.
people with thick toenails. It's probably like
Ew.
your face. Your face just collapsed on itself when I said that.
It did, because I can picture it and I'm almost throwing up in my mouth. Oh,
It's
shit.
probably like construction worthy, you know.
You know, it makes me really angry because I'm going to guess it's sold on the black market, or it's going to someone
Yeah.
who supposedly knows how to administer it and is going to have the product for free. I mean, that's medical. So like, that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. I don't know if you guys watch those reality shows. I'm obsessed with them. And
like
it's,
when people get freaking cement poured into their butt implants or whatever.
like literally Home Depot industrial grade silicone shot into their butts. There's a woman online, you can find her fairly easy because she's a very outspoken advocate. She was a salon owner, had a really successful hair salon with nails and everything in it.
Right.
And someone came in and showed us, I'm certified, I've been licensed to do this, I can do silicone in your butt. She now is a paraplegic.
Oh my God.
She almost died and she lost all of her limbs.
Oh my
Don't
God.
ever black
Oh my
market
God.
anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
And yeah, always look people. I mean,
And honestly,
Yeah.
any of that, don't go to a place where they don't have registered nurses.
oh,
and,
heck no.
Yeah. Because it can be very scary.
Well, that's why I freak out sometimes at some of the things where it's like, and I haven't opened a Groupon email in I don't know how many
I
years,
haven't
but
either, honestly. I used to be kind of obsessed.
yeah, I don't want to see Groupons for Botox or any of this other crap. There are just certain things that I don't want at a discount. Sorry.
No, it's
I want
too
to go to
dangerous.
if I'm getting anything done to my body, I want it to be a certified technician.
Yes.
Or again, if it's something beyond a facial or something like that, you better be a doctor or a nurse.
And for real, if I tried to get something put in my butt, it would just spread further horizontal. It's not like I'd get some kind of bubble. I'd just be like one of those, what were those things that you probably know because
Barbapapas?
you're all bougie. No, in the Victorian times when they had the things that rested on their hips and then went way out.
Oh God! Now I'm
That's-
gonna die that I can't think of the
I
name.
know, haha.
No, because
Because I knew you would know.
you know we used to tie milk jugs.
Oh, you did?
with rope, and then put our muslin rehearsal skirts over that.
I believe
when
it.
we did those periods in college.
My friend Travis Eli is going to hear this and he's going to be screaming at us.
So angry that I don't know what that is, because I know that like that collar that Queen Elizabeth wore is called a whipple. Like I know that stuff.
knew
I
you would
loved
know.
costume
No, you can't.
history.
You're going to remember at 4:00 in the morning, and I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
tell
leap
you.
out of bed.
And honestly, I haven't been able to sleep for at least 3 months, so I'll be awake. Go ahead and text me.
Yes.
That's
Even-
what I would look like if I got black market Botox in my butt or silicone, whatever they do.
Also, P.S. I just realized I'm like, and it better be a doctor or a nurse. You should look up what doctors you're going to too, because
'cause there's
someone
always-
might be a doctor doesn't mean that they're good.
That podcast, shout out one of my podcast listens, Dr. Death. That guy was horrible.
Yeah.
He caused permanent damage to people, killed people. Like, there's always a C doctor that still passed his tests, but
Right.
boy, I don't want him.
Okay. Oh my God. So true. Okay, really quick, because you have a fun corner, but I will tell you a what corner
What?
that came to me from watching the 11 o'clock news last night. If you weren't already feeling sad about where the current state of your financial affairs may or may not be in your life, the news last night, our local news, featured a boy who's 5, who's the #1 YouTube star
What?
in the world. And I'd like you to guess how much money he made last year.
Oh, I can't, because now I'm like trying to roll numbers in my head from PewDiePie. 3 million?
You're hilarious. How would you like to swallow the fact that he made $22 million last year at 5 years old from being a YouTube star? Oh, what does he do?
Yeah,
Oh, is he adorable? Is he the cutest kid you've ever seen?
I don't care how cute.
No, none of those things. He reviews toys, and I say that in quotes.
I know
By
it.
reviewing, I mean he makes expressions that kind of look like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone when he pulls like a toy car out of a ball
can't.
that's wrapped in crepe paper.
I can't. Also, I can't handle your little chicken dance you're doing right now.
Because it actually, I'm serious, I'm not trying to be a hater, but it makes me livid.
Yeah.
He is 5 years old.
His
and he
parents
is
are doing it.
Uh-huh.
And they're taking
Making
all the money.
$22 million. But you kind of need, I wish I knew the kid's name. I'm not trying to out him. I mean, he is a child, but god dang. He's sitting back and I'm kind of like, why does he like look like a young Eric Estrada but sound like Telly Savalas? Like he's 5.
Oh my God.
And the voice and the cadence, you're like,
creepy.
that's not a kid. It's very bizarre. But he says in the interview at 5, again, he does not sound 5. He's like, well, I knew I wanted to do this since I was 2. And it shows videos of him as a toddler. The kid isn't even talking.
Mm-hmm.
He now has a license with Walmart
Shut
for a
up.
line of toys with his name.
Where's he from?
I think he's from California. I think that might be why he was on the local news. And again,
Oh,
I
yeah,
wish I
that makes
remembered his
sense.
dang name. I was just thinking about
No,
it now.
because then we'd go down a rabbit hole
Yeah.
and be like, how come?
He also is filming his 2nd season of a Nickelodeon show currently.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, I don't watch Nick. I don't have kids.
Oh my God.
But he's a Nickelodeon star too.
I don't understand. You know, I just rewatched, so I said I can't sleep, and I've been trying to find like mindless, stupid kind of giggle fests for myself at night. So
Yes.
I think I told you I've been re-binging all of the South Parks.
Oh,
Because
amazing.
there's just so many of them. And they're so stupid and yet so smart and so offensive and yet poignant. It's just so dumb. And I recently just, in fact, today, I'm not even joking, watched the one about when Cartman decides to be a commentator because
Oh my
somebody,
God.
Stan's little brother's obsessed with PewDiePie.
Yes.
And they don't get it. And Cartman's like, what do you mean I can play video games and, make tons of money? So he just comments on everybody, but he does that thing that all these kids do where they're trying to create a brand and a persona.
Yep.
So he's like, Cartman brah. Every 5 seconds, he'll say something and he'll be like, Cartman brah.
Oh my God. So that it sticks.
And that's what all these YouTube and influencers, they have something that's like them specific to try and brand themselves. And it's just insanity to me.
Well, even worse, you just also said the magic word. One of my friends is a kindergarten teacher, and they do a thing every year where they ask the kids, like, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they do like this cute video and whatever.
Yeah.
She said that 3 of her students said YouTube influencer, and she said, no, you have to pick something else.
Yeah. Good for her.
And I said, I love that you did that. She goes, it actually was heartbreaking to me. She goes, I couldn't handle it. She said 3 5-year-olds told me that they wanted to be a YouTube influencer. And I said, no.
That's horrible. I have a friend. It's funny you say that. I have a friend that actually, he does Fun Fact Fridays and he'll post in his Instagram stories. And this week's it was, I could be getting these numbers wrong, but it's something like this. 1 in 22 American children want to be an influencer or a YouTube star or whatever. 1 in 22 children in China want to be advocates or scientists. Like it's I'm not getting that exactly right, but it's outrageous like that.
Yeah.
Our culture, I used to always think, I don't know why I thought this, but maybe just I'm an asshole, but I always thought Britain was more into trashy People magazine, OK magazine, all that stuff.
The tabloids.
The tabloid type stuff than we were, and wanting to be famous and celebrity and stuff like that. But I do think that we are worse. I think America really holds the trophy in that. And it's pretty gross. And it also, I think, leads back to what I was saying about like they lose a sense of reality. They don't live nobody tells them. I've worked with some influencers before, or on projects they were on, and it's like they don't understand work ethic. They don't want to come out of their trailers. They'll hold up production. It's like, you're not a professional. It's just that nobody tells you no.
Right.
And they want your followers.
Get a lot of free stuff.
constantly. We have a friend that is a waiter at a restaurant where they hold events for influencers so that they will, and she told me the nights that they have those events, she doesn't get tipped, and she's never been treated so poorly in her life.
It's absolutely disgusting. And Alan brought this up, and he has a point. He said why it makes him so mad is he said it's all revolved around materialism.
Yeah.
And he said, especially with these kids and these stupid videos of them opening toys, or I'm just going to play with these toys, and all this stuff that goes crazy and viral. And I'm sorry, it's not well done. It's totally homemade.
My kid watches this.
A lot of people I know, kids watch it.
Like, they're older men, to be honest, but they're like game nerds, and they are very knowledgeable about. And my kid watches them play those games, and then he learns it and plays it on his own. But he's obsessed.
Yeah.
I have to really monitor.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
Well, even in that, I mean, yes, everything has to be monitored with their kids, of course, but I don't have a problem with kids watching a video to learn how to do something, provided it's not something horrific. But like,
he's not building bombs.
My niece was watching a lot of videos to learn how to make slime, right? Or to learn how to make friendship bracelets, things like that. That's fine. I'm talking about these kids, like
especially the ones that put the filters on where their face and their teeth are big, and then they scream and go, "Oh my God, you guys, it's Tuesday, Tuesday, it's Tuesday, blah, 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 blah. Boneyard Cotman, brah." You're like, what the fuck was that? Did I just have a stroke? And it's high pitched, and you're like, my ears are bursting, my ears are bleeding.
Oh my God,
I don't understand. And then we all got obsessed over the massive Disney unboxing lady, and we could only talk about her fingernails, and if she happened to be because she had different nails, and everybody always complains about them or loves them, and then we didn't know who she was. Was she a Swedish porn star? Like, everyone got obsessed with it.
Who is everyone?
The world, Jessica. And she's got this voice. She unboxes the toys and she talks like this.
No.
It's crazy.
Oh my God. Before I need another cleansing breath, can you take us into a happy corner involving a child?
People are like, you girls, we can't listen to this episode, but I'm going to restore your faith in children and humanity.
I believe the children are our future.
Teach them well and not them lead them mind.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Ska, 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 ska.
Give them a sense of pride.
Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laugh.
It was only an intro to the corner.
Remind us how it used to be. I decided long ago
never to walk in anyone's shadow.
I just shook myself so hard I have to pee now. Okay.
My God.
I might have to edit that down a little bit. We'll see. This is called, and this is by Good News Network on August 21st. This 7th grader donated I'm going to hold off on saying the number because I was shocked. Donated all of his county fair earnings to a children's hospital.
Love him.
Also, there's a picture of him. He couldn't look more like angry, but clearly is the most precious kid ever.
Is he from Missouri?
I don't know. He definitely feels like he's from a Midwest. He's dressed like he's from my hometown.
I know. That's why when I saw it, I'm like, this is so cute. I wonder if he is from there.
He's clearly like, please don't take my picture.
You're right.
Just let me be good and not get noticed. Childhood diseases are no laughing matter. That's why this serious-looking youngster is being praised for donating thousands of dollars to Children's Research Hospital earlier this week. Shut up. His name. Did you see his name? Diesel Pippert.
Stop it.
I can't. I'm in love with that name. Diesel Pippert. Come on. What's Diesel Pippert going to grow up to do? He's going to drive fast cars for sure. And then Pippert, he's going to be like a happy guy that maybe uses, what's that fluffy pastry that you can buy in sheets at the grocery store in the
Phyllo?
Yeah. That makes treats for his wife out of phyllo dough. I don't know why I think that, but I believe it.
That's hilarious.
Diesel Pippert, who is a 7th grader in the Western Reserve School District of Ohio, so yes, Midwest. My phone shut off because it's hateful and I don't like it.
Oh my God.
Earned $15,000 in
Amazing.
livestock premiums from the county fair's animal sale. Much to the surprise of his adult peers, Diesel then donated all of the money to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Impressed by his generous donation, the school district posted a photo of Diesel to their Facebook page as a means of spotlighting his good deed. This is a quote, "A young man lives amongst us who should be an example to us all," wrote the district Facebook page. His donation of $15,000 will help find cures for young children and save lives. Diesel, you are a hero. It's true. Since the post has already been shared by hundreds of social media users, Diesel's generosity has inspired other people to donate to the hospital as well, which I love. One commenter aptly commended the youngster by saying, "You have forever changed your community and world, Diesel. And I hope you're reminded of that in miraculous ways when all of this commotion fades. Thank you so much for your donation." Another social media user wrote, "A philanthropist can be any age at all, and he can be an extraordinary example of compassion to all." Yes.
That's so
Compassion.
good.
Congratulations to Mr. Pippert and those who are teaching him true love. And there's pictures here of him in front of his barn. I mean, he's in the 4-H.
adorable.
He's in 4-H and FFA,
Yep.
which is amazing. It's just the cutest. And like, I'll tell you, with all the Amazon fires going on, a lot of young people have been speaking out because
Yep.
Leonardo DiCaprio has tweeted, "The lungs of the earth are on fire."
Yep.
And that Brazilian president is a mess.
Yep.
And a lot of children are like, "I want to make sure that I have somewhere to live
Yeah, of
when I grow up."
course.
And this kid is a perfect example of like, while people are yelling at me, "You're no relation, I don't care about you," this kid's giving $15,000 to other children to be better.
Yep.
Come on. Amazing.
It's beyond. Yes, there are kids that would do that, but there are a lot of kids that wouldn't even cross their mind.
Yeah.
Just like there's a lot of adults that would never cross their mind to do that.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to do it at all, but the fact that he gave all of it is just like
All of it.
astonishing.
Like he could have
I
been
think
like,
it's
"Can I
neat if he gave
donate?"
$100.
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna
oh, he
say,
wanted to give some
If
money.
he
Like,
said to his parents, like, "Can I give $20 to the kids?" I would have been like, "What a gem this kid is." $15,000.
Yep.
Lovely.
it's amazing.
It really does. I'm not kidding. It's like, okay, that's a small nugget of my faith restored in humanity, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love
What
it.
you got?
So we are going to move into our raves.
Mm-hmm.
And both of our raves this week come to us. Well, one is directly from a listener who sent it to us and brought it to our attention. One is from observing a listener who is someone that really inspires me, who I've talked about her before. Her name is Lori, and she's a pretty selfless person, and she really is always looking to be more compassionate, meaning just to put out compassionativity. I just said a George Bush word that was made up that Will Ferrell said. Compassionativity. Excuse me. She's always looking to spread compassion and awareness and help others. She's very selfless. I'll even throw out, as I'm pulling this up, that she took a trip to Cuba with her family a couple of years ago. And what did she do? She found out through some local organizations what kind of supplies were needed most. And her and her family are
Brought
light
them.
packers anyway, because they're just efficient peeps.
Lucky.
Thanks to their mom.
Lucky.
And their suitcase was filled with all kinds of things like feminine hygiene products, Tylenol and Advil, like little care packages for men and women, but people that were in dire need, and bringing some things that are not necessarily accessible or affordable to them. So very cool. So she started a shoe drive through a company that she works for. She's a real estate agent, and her company, I have a feeling, I don't know if it's her doing it or not, but I know she's going to be probably spearheading a lot of stuff for them, because she used to work for a major charity organization. She started doing door hangers in the neighborhood, and this was specifically to collect shoes for the homeless, and she did it in her neighborhood.
Because it's a massive problem. I would say a large
Major.
percentage of homeless people I run into throughout the days don't have shoes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's, can you imagine? I don't want to.
No.
She hung 320 door hangers on homes around her neighborhood. It was a 7-mile, 3-hour trek. And she said it brought back memories of her childhood, going around asking for, raising money for a swim-a-thon and things for school and whatnot. And so it's funny because she's had amazing response from people. I will not say the one negative one, but she did have a woman who was so nasty to her and told her, get out of here and all that. We don't even need to go there because the rest of the people came through. But again, there's just people out there, I guess, that are looking for a reason to be nasty or be angry.
Yeah.
She had such an outpouring. She collected over 600 pairs of shoes. And again, like obviously they want gently used shoes because they need to last, and you're not going to give hopefully anything donated that's filthy or ripped or whatever,
or has foot fungus in it.
Blech. She got shoes that were, she's like, I'm telling you, like impeccable, like barely used or brand new. And I have a few pair. I actually am going to throw this out there because I want anyone in LA, we'll get into that in a second, to donate if they have anything. She collected over 600 pairs, but she's going to keep this going.
Yeah, she's keeping going.
But I saw like a picture of her garage just filled with bags, and she of course categorized all of them, like tied them together with rubber bands and like separated men's from women's and all that.
Amazing.
But it's really cool, and I'll tell you what her philosophy is behind it. She says it's a win-win situation for everyone. How does the donor win? Like the person who's giving the shoes. It's an opportunity to clean out your closets and finally get rid of shoes that aren't being used.
Thank you.
You get a tax deduction for the donation, and you're providing much needed footwear for those who cannot afford it.
Yes.
How does the recipient win? Receive shoes that will make a difficult life on the street a little bit easier. Acquiring increased mobility, as walking is the primary, if not only, means of transportation.
Absolutely. Yes.
Comfort and protection from the environment, which can prevent a variety of foot-related ailments. You know how awful it is when you've seen people walking without shoes.
Yes.
Enhanced quality of life and improved self-confidence, which can lead to employment. That's a huge... I mean, there's the obvious reasons, but when you think about stuff like that, people going out to apply for work, okay? You have to have shoes.
Yeah.
Not just to look presentable for an interview, but it's a safety
often
issue.
Required to get into a building.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this organization is called Shoes for the Homeless. They're in Los Angeles. But again, as always, we welcome you to look in your own communities or towns if they have a program like this, or if you're looking to do something with a school or maybe your church or temple or anything like that.
It's easy to send a note home with everybody in a program or whatever at church. My son's summer school, their class project was they sent home a note and said, if you have any old blankets, old towels, all the things we keep thinking, I can't throw this away, to donate to animal rescue.
Oh, yes. We talked about that once. I totally remember that.
Easy to start something very simple like that and help in many ways. Yeah.
So please consider that in your own neighborhood. And again, for people who live in LA, and if you want to, you could give directly to this organization. If you know me, I guess, personally.
Right. If you know either one of us personally.
Yeah, hit us up. Then we could arrange a pickup. You know, if I had a storage or something, I'd say, hey, everybody, on this day, do that. Unfortunately, we don't have the setup for that, but I'm very happy to I already have a bag filled from just like people that I see on a regular basis and between my husband and myself. And yes, there are some shoes that have never been worn.
Absolutely.
That I bought.
I've bought shoes that I thought I really loved and then was like, oh, I don't like these and it feels weird on my ankle, but there's nothing wrong with them.
And it's past the point of,
Yeah.
They're brand new. It will give someone brand new shoes, again, to protect their feet and or for an interview. When I was in high school, I was in a community service organization called Kietz at my high school. And like one of our big projects was for a group in Georgia that was to help house and clothe women and their children that were homeless or had been in environments where they had to leave the home. And we always did clothing drives specifically to give them like suits or nice clothing to wear on interviews. And you just, again, these things we all take for granted. You can't know what that's like, just like we've talked about hope through soap. For someone to have a haircut, to walk out with fresh clothing, clean. Anything like that.
Yeah. And I just want to take a minute too to say, I'm not going to assume what people think about who the homeless are or where they've come from or what their issues are. But I'm telling you, I was talking to a girlfriend. I was on another podcast, which if you guys are in the industry and or interested in information like that, it's called No Be Like Show Be. My friend Nadia, and I haven't known her for very long, and she and I were just sort of talking. She's like, no, Dana, a couple of years ago I lived in my car for a little bit. Like we all People fall on hard times, man.
Yeah.
It's not just the mentally ill or lazy people. Like, people fall on hard times, and it's hard to imagine it getting to that point, but it happens. It really does.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys want to donate, you can donate directly, or if you live here and know us, you can look, hit us up. And I want to say too, I know in Los Angeles we're having a massive homeless problem due to lawmakers not making good choices, and we're kind of at a stalemate right now. And I think people get angry about the mess and the fact that we can't solve this and find people. Just try to remember these are still people. And I know it's inconvenient or an eyesore and even sometimes a health risk because, we've talked about we are at risk for bubonic plague breakout right now because of this issue. Just don't forget, these are people.
Yes.
They're people. So I just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely. Shoesforthehomeless.net.
Love it. Thank you, Jessica. I'm really excited to share mine. This is from a listener, right? So this is I'm going to read you an article about what's going on here. It's so beautiful. It's more of a good news story, I guess. School district turns unused cafeteria food into take-home meals for kids. This is written by Chelsea Robinson. It's from South Bend, Indiana. An Indiana school district is working to make sure students have enough to eat. Students usually get breakfast and lunch at school, but on the weekends at home, some go hungry. And I think that happens more than people realize.
Yeah.
WSBT reports Elkhart Schools is partnering with local nonprofit called Cultivate to provide weekend meals through the use of unused food. Quote, mostly we rescue food that's been made but never served by catering companies, large food service businesses like the school system, said Jim Conklin with Cultivate. You don't always think of a school. Cultivate makes individual frozen meals out of discarded and unused food. On Fridays, about 20 students are given a backpack with 8 individual frozen meals. I love it. At Elkhart Community Schools, we were wasting a lot of food, said Natalie Bickle with Student Services. There wasn't anything to do with the food, so they came to the school 3 times a week and rescued the food. The Elkhart school system hopes to expand the food program to other schools. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's so amazing because we've always kind of known this, and I think people try to push it out of their mind because it's scary. Sometimes there are many, many children in our country that the only meal they get a day is at school.
Yeah.
At school. And I think this is an amazing way. We've talked before about how wasteful
waste. Oh my
we
God.
are, especially in our country with food.
Yep.
And there's no sense in it whatsoever. And I think this is a touching
Unbelievable.
and very efficient way of using this discarded or unused food. I think it's really beautiful, and I really commend
for that
this
child
school.
and or their family. Maybe they have
Cultivate.
siblings. Maybe they
Oh my God, absolutely.
at least have one guardian or someone taking care of them.
Most of the time they have somebody else at home that's not eating.
Yeah.
So Cultivate is the name of the organization there. Again, we always say you can't donate, but you can spread the word or you can start something similar in your community. So
Absolutely.
Jessica,
Dana.
I think that's our 6-hour show.
I think it is. And I have to apologize because I kept telling her before I came here, once I was here, once we started, we're going to make this quick. We're going to 45 minutes so there isn't really editing. We're just going to get in and out. I've been here for 5 hours and I'm so sorry.
8:45, and I only know that because Lucy went berserk. That's her only producer duty. She's like, Jessica's here. It is now 5 minutes till 1 a.m.
Sorry.
I don't care. Anyway.
Oh my God.
I love it. That's our show. I want to end. We always end with a weekly point to ponder or something we're really enjoying. And sorry, but it's been a rough week, so I'm going to be a little serious. I'm just going to reiterate with my weekly point to ponder. Just remember, guys, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but maybe tell it to your children or even maybe passive aggressively to a hateful person. I don't care. But kindness really does matter.
Yep.
And it costs us nothing.
Absolutely.
It costs us nothing. So anyway, we love and appreciate you guys so much.
Indeed.
Jessica, you could not be more supportive and kind and thoughtful, and I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Dana,
and I love you dearly.
You're too kind.
No, I'm actually not.
Lady, the feeling is so mutual, and seriously, the fact that you can still be always so concerned with other people and check in on them from the bottom of your heart when you have a mountain of stuff to contend with. I don't know how you do it, because I've really check out when I get stressed, and I tend to push people away. No, I
exactly the same thing for me this week. Mutual Admiration Society.
But I adore you, and I really believe that everything's really crappy right now.
We're gonna get
it won't always be like this.
No, we're all gonna get through it. And
thank you for being you.
Thank you for being
seriously
you. And honestly, thank you to our listeners, and I hope that you guys can either relate or feel not so alone, and we love you guys too. So I guess we'll probably Jessica, I'm gonna see you in
we'll be back
24 hours.
Exactly.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.